Hi everybody! Continuing on my series where I talk about the songs from my second album, Original Game. This video is about the sixth song on the record, Le Désir Terrible. So, as always, starting off by showing off the amazing artwork that was done for this track, starting with the really cool photo here that's the creative collaboration between me and Montreal photographer Philip Faith. This is the card that was done by Émilie Léger. This is the artwork that was done by Audrey Desrosiers. And this is the card that was done by Alex Bell. So, Le Désir Terrible, that French touch name that I felt I had to put in there to give it a little bit of spice. Basically, yeah, I guess we can start on that. I kind of said the right word here, spice. Musically, Désir Terrible is a mashup of flamenco and industrial music. So I'm pretty proud of how the song turned out. It's a very intense, a very fiery song. These are two genres of music that I really enjoy, that I've always kind of found that we're sort of channeling the same kind of energy. Basically, you know, both flamenco and industrial, the way that they can be treated can turn into something that's very fiery, passionate, spicy, kind of just very strong, intense vibe, basically, that's very, you know, sexual in their essence. And you know, it kind of fit with the theme of the song itself, which is pretty much basically the song is it's about BDSM. It's as I said in another video, I am a kinkster, so there's no secret there, and I kind of wanted to write a song that would sort of present my experience of sexuality through, you know, basically my coming from, you know, growing as a woman through sexuality. That's the thing. That's it. So yeah, growing as a woman through sexuality and how I experienced it, my sort of personal evolution. I think that overall, Original Game, writing that album between, you know, 27 to 31 years old, 30, 31, kind of, you know, it was really that album of like, you know, becoming a woman kind of thing and fully owning yourself. And that's where I think that Désir Terrible is kind of the song that brings that essence the most. It's a song that kind of brings back the character of Vicious. That's the dirty boy on the record that comes from song number 4 that was introduced there. Very slightly though. He's there in the first verse, and then the song just becomes, yeah, my sort of, you know, bringing forth the younger woman that I was into, the woman that I became. The lyrics kind of play with the idea of there's a verse at some point, it says my dirty girl, and then the verse after is my queen. So that kind of shows really how you can go from one to the other. I do believe that sex by far is one of the biggest, strongest ways that one can go about to discover oneself. You know, that being said, I'm a double Scorpio, and from a very young age, I was strongly connected to my sexuality. So, I mean, you know, In the end, I think that it's very important and healthy to fully embrace ourselves as sexual beings and discover ourselves through that. I Whenever I'm presented with concepts or people or situations where I realize that despite the fact that we're in 2018, there's still so much taboo, and people have so many issues about sexualities. There's a part of me that just doesn't understand, only because, like, we're in 2018. It's about time that we move on from these taboos and that we fully embrace ourselves in all aspects, all the aspects that make us human, basically. But this being said, as long as you have healthy and positive sexual experiences, what matters is that you just embrace it in whichever way you want and in whichever way that rings true to you. So yeah, I mean, there's this awesome documentary out there that a pretty cool, awesome fan of mine had created a while back about the fetish subculture. You can always find that online pretty easily. It's a really good documentary. If you're curious about the fetish world and kinks and what's that all about, there's many resources out there. Also a great fan of mine, John Prusik, who is a really good writer about, he writes about sex in all aspects, all forms. He's got this blog called Sex in Words, which you should definitely check out. Overall, just that song really allowed me to, kind of marry both, like I said, the young woman that I was and how I experienced sexuality as an ingenue and how I became the full circle, how I came full circle in becoming the woman that I am through my sexual experiences. Starting in, what I went through in regards to BDSM and, coming out as what I am now. And then, it's definitely it's a really intense song. It's definitely the utmost peak of the album. And it's song number 6, coming from Original Game that was very rock and roll, very dirty, heavy, and then Désir Terrible, which is like super high energy. It's definitely a song that will, give you all of that, a lot of fire. It's a very passionate song. I myself, and I think all of the musicians that played on it, when you listen to the performances, all of the musicians that played on it just, they're giving it their all. And even the sound engineer, when he mixed and mastered and produced, the soundscape of it, just went all, for it. He's in a band called Project F, John and Miller, and that was kind of his little treat for himself on the album. He really indulged in producing, especially that later part of the song, when the song really becomes industrial. I know that he had a lot of fun putting it all together and making it sound that intense. So go listen to the song for yourself. You have the Spotify, iTunes, and Bandcamp links in the description box where you can download the song and stream it. And then, of course, get this from my online store. Get your own little Original Game deck of cards and enjoy the album. So much love. I'll see you on the next vid.